I even say a lot, like, often want to support.
Bringing more education to the black dollar. There's black-owned detergent. Some people don't know there's black-owned toothbrushes and toothpaste and condoms
So
and
we
stuff
here.
like that.
How are you? I even say a lot, like, often want to support.
Bringing more education to the black dollar. There's black-owned detergent. Some people don't know there's black-owned toothbrushes and toothpaste and condoms
So
and
we
stuff like
here.
that.
How are I even say a lot, like, looking fresh. Oh, I'm gonna have to put you on some rock deep though. All right, ain't that right? I'm gonna put you on. Anyway, so we're here talking about school, right? We're on your campus, on your home team, right? Your home territory in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia State. As a Georgia State student, be honest, have you seen anything like this?
No, not at all. Not to this magnitude, and I don't even feel like we talk about it enough.
Really?
We feel like we have discussions, we have student organizational like meetings, but we never talk about it on this scale, and actually to implement it on this scale is just amazing.
Dope. Yeah, I feel that. And I mean, honestly, the same goes for most schools, honestly. And that's kind of the part of the reasons why I want to bring this to light, because I even say a lot, like, college students often want to support, right? We often want to give back, but like we so tied down with school and so many other things. It's like we're preoccupied. So like with this Black to School initiative, you don't even have to worry. Like, you don't got to schedule no appointments to brush your teeth, right?
Exactly.
You don't have to book no rooms to put your drawers on in the morning to wash your clothes, right? And so this is like, we're creating a way for college kids to be college kids.
Right.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So all tampons and pads are not made equally. Some are chemically bonded with unnatural substances in the pad itself and can give women infections, STIs, and things like that. And a lot of women don't know about that. And Honey Pot, the black-owned product, is for anyone. And even buying it pours into the black dollar. And I feel like this project of Black to School is bringing more education to the black dollar that black women and black men need to advance equally in the economy. You know, and buying black owned doesn't mean you're not supporting any other race. You know, you're just uplifting the black dollar. So I feel like that's very important for Black to School.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to, like, the day of, right? We're gonna be here, inviting people out and getting people active. Like, what are you looking forward to on the day of?
I would say I'm looking forward to the day of students actually learning that black-owned companies sell these types of products. Like, some people don't even know there's black-owned detergent. Some people don't know there's black-owned toothbrushes and toothpaste and condoms and stuff like that. There can be black-owned anything, and to just know that knowledge that black-owned something is out there for you to buy is powerful.
It really is.
Yeah, so I think I'm excited to see the knowledge that they learn from what we're putting out. You know, even something that we're not expecting, you might get the information and receive it back.
You're right. If you were to choose, like, I don't know, one product out of the package, you remember what's in it?
Yeah.
Okay, but like, if you were to choose,
I would definitely have to
like
go
top 3 or something.
Top 3. Number 1 would definitely be the feminine products.
Okay, for
Because
sure.
even looking into the bathrooms at Georgia State and around campus, even with the organization called Period Packing, we're trying to implement more tampons and condoms into
Oh,
condoms, you know,
nice.
for
Yeah,
females.
just so have it available.
Yeah, and even with the argument of condoms and pads, condoms are not taxed, and pads and tampons are taxed.
You're right.
You know, and it's
You're
a
right.
feminine hygiene problem that not a lot of people outside of women think about.
Exactly.
And I think that's
Exactly.
really powerful that your organization and your group like brought it together to include black feminine products. So
Yeah.
I think that's really powerful. Number
Love it.
2 would also be the condoms. You know, promoting safe sex and things like that is very, very important. And as much as condoms are used and bought,
Yes.
we can promote all those into the black dollar.
Absolutely.
And thirdly, my favorite third product would probably be the bandages. Having bandages for brown skinned people and having dark skin, middle tone, you know, any of those tones is really important for representation. You know, not everybody wants to see a white bandage on a black finger, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the little things that matter and help us feel represented as a whole. So that's what I love.
You hit it right there, across the board. So we're gonna do some shout outs. I mean, let's start with those. What you got in your hand right here?
I have Coral Oral. Brush your teeth every day. You need to change your toothbrush at least 3 times a month. If you're not, you're doing something wrong.
Yikes.
Representation matters. A black smile on the back, don't it make you want to smile? No. have a coral oil here.
Love it, love
We
it.
also have
got
the light bulb.
Ujama.
Ujama.
So this talks about the inventor of the carbon filament. His name is Lewis Howard Latimer.
Yes.
Yeah, 1881, invented the carbon filament, and Latimer would go on to become a member of Thomas Edison's elite research group. That's dope. Only African American to obtain that honor. That's pretty cool. So
Only.
look at that. Light bulbs. Boom. What else we got? I can take this one. We got champ boxers right here. The #1 boxers. They come in a whole bunch of different designs. Look at that. 100. I'm reading the back. 100% soft nylon waistband for comfort. I bet you they're more comfortable than Hanes. I'm gonna bet you. I haven't tried them yet.
More
We gonna
comfortable
see.
than Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom.
Period.
Whatever else they got out there. Oh yeah, you know, the truth. Put the truth in your clothes. We got True liquid laundry detergent, right? So you're actually gonna get was it 3 of these, I think, in the package?
Yes.
You're gonna get 3 of these, and so yeah, I mean, we just left this facility, so we got to see what they actually put in the product.
The total for CERN is $162,000. That's what each region is going to get. So our portion is the total $162,000.
My name is Mildred McLean. I have been organizing for the past 61 years. My experience as an organizer is a mixed bag. It is what my assignment is. That's what I came to do outside of teaching. In the 61 years of organizing, I've witnessed almost everything because I participated in the civil rights movement, I participated in the women's movement, the environmental justice movement, the Black nationalist movement, the Pan-Africanist movement, any movement that is for justice I have been a part of. And during the last administration, we witnessed with the stroke of a pen, with executive orders, with rollback of regulations, almost all of those 32 years of work wiped out, pushed down the drain, because a lot of the regulations were rolled back or eliminated. So when that happens, you look at I have invested 30 years of my life, 30 years of missing birthdays of children, birthdays of grandchildren, major events in the community because you're out organizing. In our work or our fight for environmental justice, we are trying to transform neighborhoods and communities that have been exposed to all kinds of toxins and poisons and contaminants, vis-a-vis the air, the water, the soil, industrial insult and industrial assault. We are fighting against laws and regulations that err to the side of those who pollute us. We fight against corporate polluters. We fight against government polluters. We fight against those things that deteriorate our quality of life on the regular. We fight against companies being able to emit particulate matter, able to emit dioxin, able to emit things that we can't even pronounce. We are fighting against that kind of behavior and that kind of system. What are we fighting for? The environmental justice community fights for, let's say, equity. It fights for justice. The story for us is that coming from the Atlantic Ocean to Lazaretto Creek was the first port where we got off. And we were taken off of those ships to be cleaned up. First of all, assessed, the extent to which our teeth was good, our hair, our skin, or whatever, then cleaned up and repackaged, so to speak, put back on those ships or put on small boats to then come back in a little small part of the ocean into the place where it meets the river, and those people then were taken up through the Savannah River Canal up to the places where they would be auctioned off. So for us, environmental justice or environmental contamination started right there on those ships. And we go to Lazaretto Creek as a remembrance of the connection between what we do today and what was done to us hundreds of years ago. So as we do our work in Savannah, we are always cognizant of that legacy that we carry. And it emboldens us to do work in a very different way, because all of that work is geared toward dismantling the heritage and the legacy that we have had as enslaved people in this area. And we use it as a springboard to keep us strong in knowing that we are so connected with our ancestors, and that our ancestors are an active part of the movement because they help to guide us, they help to protect us, they help to show us the way.
So one of the things that I was about to bring up with the former principal, Frank Spearman, he was the principal while I was at Peach County. He came to a couple of community meetings.
Hey, Queen of the Sunshine. Hello. How are you? I'm doing wonderful. So, you were telling me about the disparities and just the differences when you were living in Unurbanist and living in other places in Georgia with your utilities.
Right.
So, what were some of the differences that you noticed?
Well, the difference when I moved home in 2015 and I got, God blessed me to be here with this place in 2016, is just the difference in the utilities.
I've been organizing since I could talk. My first bit of organizing probably happened in this den with my brother, trying to organize ways that we could stay outside and play longer and things of that nature, definitely in the classroom. My first bit of social justice organizing occurred when I was 6. There was a situation here. During that time, we had a Refco drugstore, and there was a single pregnant black woman that went into the drugstore, and there was a white clerk who accused her of stealing. And instead of her approaching her with any sense of dignity, he chose to body slam her. And so there were protests, and I can recall going with my mother to protest. And I can honestly say that looking back on it, my mother raised me to be an organizer. It's in my blood, it's in my DNA, and it's got me where I am today. But I've been organizing with the Partnership for Southern Equity since 2018. Organizing in Fort Valley, it can be hard. A lot of times people are comfortable, especially when you're dealing in a small town or rural area, because you know everybody. You know, in a place like Fort Valley, your leadership, you know, your elected officials may also be your Sunday school teacher. They may have been your principal at one time. They may have been your basketball coach. There are people that you go to church with. it can be a beautiful thing. It can be a very strong thing, especially in a place like Fort Valley. A lot of people are under the impression when you are speaking to a place like Fort Valley, Georgia, that's very small with about 3 traffic lights, that you're dealing with a lot of docile individuals, but that is simply not the case. What drives me every day as an organizer is just the love and passion, that I have for my community, even just complete strangers. Just knowing that, this is a work of love and of service and just the passion for it. People in the community at times will joke and call me the Fort Valley Olivia Pope. And I'm actually true to my name, which is pronounced Go See Her. So the kind of running joke is if you want something done, or if they're having this idea, or they're trying to figure out, Marsha, I'm feeling like I think something's not right about this situation, or have you read this? And so I have a reputation of being trustworthy, of being ethical, for meaning what I say, saying what I mean, calling a thing, and getting results. Even when I've tried to run from it and go hide somewhere, it's like, something comes up and, I get that call. And because of my love for the community and just my love for our people, I'm gonna always, answer that call. And, I'd be dishonest if I said it didn't, it can be consuming sometimes. And because, it's always something, there's always a way, there's always something that you can organize around, and there's always an issue that you can try to strategize around and push a needle and get a result and get something done. And when you're dealing, in the world of racial equity matters, until we dismantle imperialism and white supremacy, then it's always going to be an issue.
I have been an organizer for about 3 years. Organizing in Atlanta is fun for me because I work with youth populations, so it's really encouraging when you're organizing here because the students are really dynamic and they're really aware of what's going on. So we work with several universities across the city of Atlanta. We work with the AUC, which is Clark, Atlanta, Morehouse, and Spelman. We work with Georgia Tech, we work with Emory, Oglethorpe, and several other universities across the area. My experience with organizing over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been introduced to organizers, is very extractive. People parachute in from a national organization and they have this money and they have this notoriety and they try to make quick relationships, make quick deals and swoop in for the press release. And then when the press is gone and the money is gone, they leave. Values-based organizing is really about a relationship. It's really about trust. So PSC doesn't go into community unless it's asked to go into community. That's the first thing. When PSC goes into community, they don't ascribe what needs to be done, they ask what needs to be done. And once they ask what needs to be done, we listen. So we're not gonna go into a community and say everybody has to have solar in order for us to have a better future. We ask like, what are your problems? And if the problem is diapers, but we came in there as the energy team, then we're gonna transition our conversation to diapers. Because if I can't meet your basic needs on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, then there's no way I can ever get you up the ladder to deal with something as esoteric as a climate disaster, because you have day-to-day disasters. Living in the ghetto with the inability to pay your light bill is by far one of the most nerve-wracking things that I've ever experienced. When every other kid is waking up and going to school and not really having to think about the first 30 or 45 minutes of their day to get to school, life's pretty simple. But for a kid who wakes up and there is no lights and your mom has to kind of figure it out for you so you can kind of wash up before, so nobody knows that how bad life is right now for you. It's pretty hard. Like, I remember being 5, 6 years old and my mom like having to put water on the gas stove and warm it up, and taking a little dish rag and be like, all right, go in the bathroom and clean yourself up, and then you go to school. If the lights still are not on by the time we get home, we'll get takeout, we'll light a candle, we'll raise the window and the blinds up. Like, we'll make the compromises necessary. If you need to do your homework, we'll go to the library for an hour. So it's a lot of time that gets eroded away from you when you have to deal with energy burden at such a young age, because the simple flick of a switch, the thing that took you a millisecond to do that you didn't have to think about, there's another kid who has to take a 45-minute compromise to that. And if you collectively add that up 5 days a week, 8 months out the year, it really adds up on what you're spending your time doing versus what you could be spending your time doing. And it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. The understanding that there's another kid just like me who is in elementary school right now, who is just trying to figure out and get through the day, that doesn't have energy, really does motivate me to get up and do my job every day. I think also in tandem with that, the fact that we have technologies now that can completely undermine the system that exists and give you freedom away from a utility company really, really inspires me. So as I move forward with my career, solar and energy efficiency and things like that are really going to be pivotal for the generation that I'm in and the generations behind us, because we may live in a world where you don't have an electric bill, and we've never met a human being that didn't before now. And the fact that that's a possibility gives me a lot of hope.
I've been organizing since I was a teenager. A good day for me as a community organizer in Atlanta is just about relationship building. When you talk to someone and they have an aha moment or a light bulb moment, when it clicks, when they understand the intersection between utility justice and housing affordability, when they understand the connection between energy equity and food insecurity and those type of things, and when they understand that everything that we do at the Partnership for Southern Equity impacts them on a daily basis, and we can make the issues that we talk about kitchen table topics. I'm striving to help the grandmother who lives on a fixed income. I'm striving to help the boys in the hood that hang out on the block that don't know how they can impact or foster change for their community. I am doing this work for the least of these, the lost, the overlooked, for the next generation that's coming behind me, for everyday Black folks, brown folks, indigenous people, people who've been written off and sold out. A tough day in the work is people calling you and asking if you can help them with Thanksgiving or Christmas. A tough day in the work is people who often need the help of the organizer for their immediate and felt needs. The people who know your love of community and they seek your assistance for wraparound services. Hearing stories about children who don't have electricity when school is virtual. Families who, even though you do racial justice work, call you because they need groceries. And understand that you understand that there is no disconnect between economic justice, racial justice, and energy justice. And so I get those phone calls, even though I don't work at the Salvation Army, even though I don't work at a mission, even though I don't provide wraparound services. I get the calls when folks are struggling. I get the calls when folks need somebody with some muscle, when they're going to the school board or when they're going to city council or when they've called Georgia Power or their local municipality and they're not being treated fairly, when they're being minimized and overlooked. So that's what hard days in the work looks like.
I've been an organizer literally since I was 8 years old, engaged in the community with my parents who were involved in the civil rights movement, holding up protest signs before I knew what they said. It's been a part of my life, and is something that will always be a part of my life. I started Partnership for Southern Equity 10 years ago now because I felt that more than charismatic leaders, we needed strong organizations in order to move us forward as a community. And so I, transitioned from my job at a university to begin the hard work of growing an institution. And I was blessed to have one person who believed in my vision, a gentleman by the name of Dwayne Patterson, who was the first employee of the Partnership for Southern Equity. And at the time, I was actually still at the university that I was working at when PSC was started. And over the years, it grew and became more and more influential and began to touch more than the initial areas that we were engaged in. And now it has just been an honor really to see not only how it has grown, but the way it has impacted, in my opinion, the lexicon of our communities and the way that we look at the work and how we articulate the work. And, for me, what I'm hoping also, my prayer is that the Partnership for Southern Equity has also played a role in shrinking what I call the courage gap in our communities, and that it has inspired more people to speak out and be courageous.
I am Dr. Mildred McLean, and I am a community organizer in Savannah, Georgia.
I'm Marcia Gosier, and I'm a community organizer in rural Georgia.
I'm Juan Smith, and I'm a community organizer in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the sunrise ceremony. My name is Sarah. I'm program manager with the Thrivance Group, and we will be having our healer, Mira D, join us again. And we need just a second to get that squared away. Thank you.
Okay. Well, good morning. We've made it to the sunrise ceremony. It's been a really invigorating past 20 some odd hours. I know that folks are tired, but that folks are also have also grown and been challenged and stretched themselves. So just take a moment to pat yourself on the back. Our person supporting our healing for this morning, unfortunately, oh, actually, here she is now. So I'm going to hand the floor to her. And then when she finishes, I'm going to just share a few big updates from the Thrivance group. And then we will make our commitment to another 12 months of being Unurbanist.
Can you start my video, please? Good morning. All right, good morning, everybody. I hope that y'all have had a good, I'm sorry I can't get on camera, but I'll go ahead and start. Oh, there we are. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Mira D, and I'm here to help y'all finish off this whole healing ceremony, this whole healing seminar very positively. I really hope that y'all got a lot out of it and that you all have an opportunity to really sit with who you are and sit with what you learned and sit with what next steps you are going to take in the world and with yourself to be able to start to make the difference that you see that you can make through whatever you learned in this past 23 hours. So I am going to do a meditation because in the world, we are always going, we're always doing, we're learning, and getting knowledge is fantastic. However, we need to make sure that we're also taking time to reflect, taking time to integrate, taking time to be silent, to be still, to listen to the voice within ourselves, to listen to the voice that is, you know, to our ancestors, to our guides, to all of the knowledge that lives within. Okay. And to also get to know who we actually truly are with inside so we can know what role we play in the world and how we can best serve the world by truly stepping into ourselves. So if everybody would take a couple deep breaths, starting in through the nose and out through the mouth, getting yourself grounded into the space that you're in. And start to close down your eyes if you feel safe to do so. If you're driving, please don't. You can just listen and join us. So just taking a deep breath in through the nose again for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhaling audibly. And we're going to do this 2 more times. Just breathing in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. And holding at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathing out through the mouth. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll let you do this one on your own count. So 1 more breath. Holding at the top. And breathing out through the mouth. Now return your breath back to normal. And just allow yourself to be here. Tuning into and paying attention to any areas of your body that might feel tight or tense. Starting with the feet, I want you to kind of crunch your feet up as tight as you can. And on the out breath, just let them relax as much as possible. And then on the in breath, tightening up the calves, the legs as much as you can. And on the out breath, feeling any tension release out of your body, out of your legs, melting in the surface below you like butter. And then moving up to the hips, the buttock area, the abdomen area. Crunch up as tight as you possibly can on the in breath. And on the out breath, let everything go. Remember that you are safe to relax right now. You are safe to simply be. This time is set aside specifically for you and you alone. So any thoughts that come up that may try to hold on, just let them be there and just let them float by like a cloud. And breathing in, crunching up the shoulders, the arms, the hands as tight as possible. And on the out breath, release it and letting go. Feeling all that tension, all that worry, all that stress just float away. And breathing in, crunching up the face, the neck area. And then on the out breath, letting go. Now, I want you to just be aware of where you're at, how you're feeling. Don't try to change the feelings. Just allow yourself to just be present with what is right now. Some of us may feel anxious. Some of us may feel joyful. Some of us may feel angry or any of the number of feelings. But remember that these feelings are all necessary and that there's no judgment on them right now. Just allow yourself to be present with it. And begin to reflect over the past 23 hours. Just kind of reeling through and seeing what sticks out to you. Remembering what feelings came up about certain discussions, certain exercises, certain events. And allow yourself to be present to how this feels in your body. Taking a deep breath in and out. And start to breathe and bring awareness into your heart space. You can place your hands there if you would like. Some people like to visualize a vent right where the heart space is. And as they breathe, visualize the breath going in and out. Even though we know we're breathing through our mouth, we can still visualize. And start to tune into what feelings are in this space for you right now. Again, it can be a number of feelings. We're just bringing awareness to and not trying to change anything. And in this space, ask yourself what it is that you need right now. And it can be a number of things. It can be finances, it can be support, it can be love, it can be a self-care day, it can be any of the variety of things. And know that in this space also, this is where your truth lives. This is where the knowledge of all of your ancestors, the wisdom of all who came before you lives as well. And know that you are not walking this road alone. Know that all of the experiences, all of the trials and tribulations of those who came before you live in this space as well. So this time I'd like for you to tune into your heart and ask your ancestors, or ask your heart what it is that you need at this moment, what it is that you can do next to start to make a difference. We're starting with small steps. I know we've all got very big visions of what we want to create, but it all starts with a step. So just visualize what the very next thing is that you can do to start to pave the path for creating something new in our communities, for creating something new within yourself and your experiences, for creating something new for the next generation, for the people following us, for creating something new in the world for the collective. And just remember that whatever this is, your purpose starts with this. Your purpose starts with this step, with just the very next thing that you can do to start to paint the big picture. Remembering that every big picture is made of 1,000 brush strokes, and that simply deciding which stroke to make next is the key to making something beautiful, something that is seen, something that is valuable. Take another deep breath in. And start to find a space of gratitude for all of the people who showed up for you here today. Start to create a space of gratitude for the facilitators and the people who put this together for you. For those who had a vision before you, they created this safe space for you to be exactly who you are. This safe space for you to know that you are the type of person who can show up and start to make a difference. This safe space to connect and build community. This safe space to know that you are loved and deserving of love just as you are. And the space to become someone who makes an impact in the world. Through knowledge, through your experiences, through the wisdom presented here and in your own lives. And bring your attention to yourself. And give yourself all the love right now, because it really does take a lot of courage to grow up certain ways, to have certain social standards put on us, and to decide that that's not what it looks like, and to create a new picture from scratch for a lot of us. It takes tremendous courage to start to build a vision that is beyond anything we've ever seen. It takes tremendous courage to walk into the face of those who cannot see the vision and to continue to paint that picture anyway, to continue to step into it, to continue to follow the calling of the heart, the voice of the soul. So I'd like everybody to just take both arms and give yourself a big giant hug. And show gratitude for you being you, because it is truly the most beautiful thing in the world for you to show up exactly as you are, exactly as you were brought to be here, exactly as you feel called to be. There's nothing more beautiful than standing for your truth and standing for what matters to you. And take another deep breath. And if there's anything else that you want to give thanks to, find gratitude for today. It can be the smallest thing. It can be the biggest thing. I'd like for you to take time to give gratitude and thanks to those things. And also in that space, finding gratitude for the experiences and the wisdom of those who came before you, leading you to this path. And now you can start to bring yourself back, moving your shoulders, wiggling your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. No rush. Just want to thank everybody for joining us for this 23 hours and for, again, taking the time and the space to make this a priority in your life, make the changes that are showing up in the world and the changes that are needing to be put into place, making that a priority in your life. So thank you all for participating, and I hope everybody has a lot of insight over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of days, and starts to create a lot of movement in the world. I would also recommend, if you don't already, implement a little bit of meditation, even if it's 5 minutes a day, into your practice, as it can help you to really get in touch with who you are and to clear away some of the chaos that we hear in the day-to-day life. So thank you all. And thank you, facilitators, for also having me here. I appreciate it. All right, and I'll hand it back over to you all.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for helping us close this very special moment out. We are going to close out. I do have 3 announcements to make before we do. The first is that we have a few new things going on at the Thrivance Group. I don't know how many of you were able to catch Kelly's breakout room in the last segment, but we are going to be doing a rollout of a public health focus later this year, and that will be what guides us through our work in 2023. So that's our first announcement. Our second announcement is that next year's Unurbanist Assembly will be an entirely different format. We're going to do an immersive in-person experience full of a lot of artistic inspiration. And the conceptual theme for that will have something to do with intergenerational dialogue. So more information, more details will be shared about that soon via the website unurbanist.com. We are looking for a host city and a host venue. We have a pretty quirky idea of what kind of venue we're looking for. So some of you who are on the call will be reaching out soon about that. And then the last announcement that we have is that Thrivance Group this fall will be launching its 501c3 arm focused entirely on youth and young adults. And that will be called Thrivance Legacy. So please keep an eye out for all of those updates and many more. I hope that the last 23 hours have been as enriching for you as they have for me, and that you'll continue to be a part of our Unurbanist community and practice in the spirit of Unurbanism until we meet again. All right. I'll keep the chat open in case anyone wants to leave an affirmation or offering on our virtual altar. But other than that, you know how to reach us. Thank you again.